Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Detonation. We have a very special guest today, straight from the UK, someone with an actual accent I can understand. Nah, just making fun of my American friends there. It's good to have a familiar accent though. It's David Wood. He's very special. He's the chair of London Futurists, former director and secretary at Humanity Plus. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you, David Wood, to come on Detonation and to give your wisdom over to this platform.
It's my real pleasure to be here, Steele. Thanks for inviting me.
No, it's really no pleasure, and I watched you on the Futurist New Deal podcast, and I thought that was a really good debate between you and a really good discussion between you and Ben Zion. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about your head and and sort of what you're thinking on transhumanist issues. So firstly, I wanted to get into a little bit about who you are and kind of what your ideas are. So why did you get into transhumanism? Where did that come from in childhood? Is it out of sci-fi? Is it out of a traumatic event? Is it out of exploration of the universe or respect for nature? Where did you get that sort of inspirational where was the catalyst?
Well, science fiction is in my background, certainly. At one stage, I think I'd read every science fiction book in the junior section of my local village library. It was more triggered by my studies in industry when I was working in the mobile computing and smartphone industry back in the late 1980s, early 1990s. I saw the trajectory on which technology was moving, that it was going in this kind of exponential curve. It starts slow and then it starts tilting upwards. I saw that what was happening in the world of computing was likely to be repeated in many other fields of technology. And I was guided in that by a couple of books, which in various ways changed my life. Eric Drexler's book on nanotechnology made me think, wow, all these amazing things might happen. Then I came across Ray Kurzweil, not The Singularity is Near, his more famous recent book, but I read The Age of Spiritual Machines, which he wrote in 1999. And it spoke to me, first of all, as a technologist, but also as somebody who was concerned about the future of humanity. Already, I was thinking hard that the world seems to be on a mixed course. It has potentials for great dangers, but potential for great wonders. And Ray Kurzweil's book spoke to me there. And just to finish this introduction off, the thing that really pushed me from being an armchair transhumanist, as it were, into being an active transhumanist was the book by James Hawes, Citizen Cyborg, which I read about 2005. And in there, he talks about how democratic societies must respond to the possibilities of enhanced humans in the near future. And he explains, politics has been split along left and right. It's also been split along morally conservative and morally liberal, but that's going to be overtaken by a new division. And that division is between people who want to suppress technology and keep humans more or less in their current state, bioconservative on the one hand, versus others who see the positive transformational potential of new technologies and to want to intelligently take advantage of that. He said, if you don't get involved, we risk letting the bioconservatives and others steer politics in a wrong direction, which will be to the detriment of all of us. So that led me to look online to try and find other transhumanists. I found the website of the World Transhumanist Association, as it was known then. It's since rebranded to Humanity Plus. And it said, well, there's a group of people in London who meet in a pub in Holborn called the Penderel's Oak every so often. So I found them eventually, took a couple of attempts. And the more I talked to them, the more I thought, actually, this stuff's really important, more important than most of the discussions going on in London, frankly. A lot of things being discussed all the time, how to make loads of money, how to have an interesting startup, how to develop your technology. Yes, but actually the humanitarian or the transhumanist possibilities of this technology, the way it could make society much better and save society from the threats, that's what's led me here.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's a good journey. And, the World Transhumanist Association or Foundation or whatever, that's Nick Bostrom. And Nick Bostrom is key to a lot of the fundamental writings that we all lean on when we're talking about these concepts.